So, my friend did an interesting test on me today. My friend knows how much I love film. And when I tell him that my favorite movie of all time is Bruce Almighty, he often puts that to the test with me. I don't really care. Bruce Almighty is still my favorite movie of all time. But let's go through what we did today and just kind of talk about it because it's interesting. Now, behind me here is my every movie I've ranked a 10 out of 10 in a it's just a list of what I think it would be the order. It changes literally every day. Some films are better than others, but I've landed on a pretty solid top 10, I think, and this is the first time I'm actually revealing it to you. So, let me preface this. I watch new movies every week. All right. Know that. This list could change tomorrow. I could literally watch one of the best pieces of cinema ever and it get into this top 10. It will change. But for the purposes of this video and the experiment we ran, these are the 10 films we used. So from 10 to 1, we have Saving Private Ryan, Whiplash, 12 Angry Men, The Shawshank Redemption, The Prestige, Forrest Gump, Castaway, Dark Knight, Greatest Showman, Bruce Almighty. Now, I know the top two are maybe a little ridiculous, but the rest of it is pretty solid. So let's run through it here. I have the what he did on my phone. So I told him my top 10. And the first what he said was, first, remove one. Remove one from existence. It never happened. What would impact pop culture the least? And I said my favorite movie of all time. I said Bruce Almighty because let's go through this. The Greatest Showman is a musical. Deleting this from existence means we have no more. Here, I should actually do this for a little effect. The Greatest Showman is a musical. If we deleted this, we delete like 9 songs from existence. That's a lot. The Dark Knight is the best superhero movie out there. It is the highest rated. It's amazing. We are deleting the best performance out of any actor I've ever seen ever. That's insane. Castaway is just a really solid movie. If there was a second place, it probably would be Castaway, honestly. But I can't really cut it. I mean, that's just one of the best. Like, that's kind of like the Desert Island movie. That's the best one out there. It's just like, it's amazing. Forrest Gump is Forrest Gump. It won Best Picture. I quote it every day, pretty much. It's amazing. The Prestige, I can't part with The Prestige. It's incredible. It's The Prestige. The Shawshank Redemption is The Shawshank Redemption. You can't cut The Shawshank Redemption from anything. 12 Angry Men is just the best classic movie out there. It's an incredible movie with some of the best acting ever. It is like the 3rd highest rated movie on this website. It's insane. Whiplash is the best J.K. Simmons role ever. It's phenomenal. And Saving Private Ryan, of course, is one of the best Spielberg movies. It's just iconic. Bruce Almighty didn't leave as big of a. I don't know. Every time I do this, I always forget the word. Bruce Almighty just didn't leave a big enough reputation for it because it's not the most popular Jim Carrey movie. I hate to say. And it's not the best 10 out of 10 Jim Carrey movie I've ever seen. Of course, you can see Ace Ventura here, and we have Liar Liar here, and The Grinch here. So there's that. And those, like, The Grinch is definitely more iconic than Bruce Almighty, but it's definitely still good. Honestly, if I had to change one right now, I probably would get rid of Castaway because this is my favorite movie of all time, unfortunately. He told me next to rank them based on their cinematography, and from best to worst, I went Saving Private Ryan, The Dark Knight, The Prestige, Whiplash, Forrest Gump, Shawshank Redemption, Castaway, The Greatest Showman, and 12 Angry Men. Now, let's talk about them. Saving Private Ryan is a war movie. It's obviously going to have some great cinematography to get all those shots. It's really good. The Dark Knight is a superhero movie. You have to be aware of what's going on. It's really good. The Prestige is a Christopher Nolan film. It's very tricky with how it shows. That's clearly one of the best. Whiplash, I rewatched Whiplash recently. There is still some great shots that just really make me understand what they're trying to go for. And I'm an idiot, so if it can make me understand what they want, that's pretty good. And then Forrest Gump feels more like its editing is good. It is really good. It won the Oscar for it. It is really good for what it is, but there's some shots that are it's not great. Whatever. But it does have some really great camera shots for, of course, the war scenes and just some other scenes. But it's pretty standard stuff. Shawshank Redemption also is kind of standard, but like it's got some really good camera shots, like when Andy's in the sewer pipe, or one of the best shots in cinema of all time in the big reveal scene that I'm not going to spoil for you because you should go watch this if you haven't already. It does have some really good stuff. Just it's more standard like Forrest Gump. Castaway is really good because it shows just this solitaire this guy has having on this island. It's just got some pretty cool shots in it. And The Greatest Showman is definitely just yeah, it is. You don't remember any of the cinematography from this movie, you know. So there's that. And then 12 Angry Men is clearly the worst. It's not bad because there's nothing inoffensive about its cinematography, but it is 12 dudes in a room. You can't do really creative stuff with that. And that's going to be a common theme. You're going to see 12 Angry Men at the bottom of a lot of these lists because it's 12 dudes in a room. The cinematography is not going to be the best part of anything. Oh, I forgot to add Bruce Almighty because I didn't realize what he said. So Bruce Almighty is second to last because it's really not inoffensive. Next, we're going to go main actor performance from best to worst. We have The Dark Knight, Whiplash, Forrest Gump, Shawshank Redemption, Castaway, Bruce Almighty, Saving Private Ryan, The Prestige, The Greatest Showman, and 12 Angry Men. Let's go Dark Knight first, of course. I kind of counted Heath Ledger as a co-lead for this movie because he's on the poster. I don't think supporting actor, like it had to be supporting actor because he's not the Dark Knight, but I'm going to count him as the lead here, as one of the leads, because it is an ensemble movie at the end of the day. I would count Batman, Harvey Dent, and the Joker as like the main three. So we're going to count it, and you're going to shut up and listen. Heath Ledger's Joker is literally the best performance I've ever heard in a movie. He goes into it, and I don't even remember, like, I barely recognize that it's him. Like, if you watch 10 Things I Hate About You and then The Dark Knight, these could be two completely different people, because he just disappears into the role. And it's unfortunate what happened to him, but if that's not commitment, I don't know what is. Whiplash, I also counted J.K. Simmons as the co-lead, because if you can't, like, if you're going to argue with me against Joker, don't argue with me against Whiplash. They're co-leads. He's, like, the most important character in the movie. Leave me alone. J.K. Simmons' performance is still amazing. He really sells it. I'm just tensed up whenever I'm watching it because I'm just so nervous about what's gonna happen, even though I've already seen the movie. It's so good. Forrest Gump is something special for sure. Forrest Gump is like he puts on that voice, and what's amazing about it is he got that voice from the child who played him. Like his whole personality came from that child, which is honestly incredible. He really does a good job selling this. Shawshank Redemption, Tim Robbins is really good in this role, but Morgan Freeman is one of the best characters in cinema in this movie. He plays Red. They are also co-leads, in my opinion. Tim Robbins definitely takes the more of a lead here, but Morgan Freeman is definitely really good, and his narration is always a joy to hear. Castaway, it's another Tom Hanks role. He's perfect in this role. He really sells being alone on this island. I love when he talks to Wilson. It's still incredible. Bruce Almighty, you might be surprised I didn't put this towards the top, but if you want me to be completely honest, this is not my favorite Jim Carrey role. Ace Ventura kind of takes that for me. But yeah, he really does a great performance. But it's not like Heath Ledger Joker or J.K. Simmons Fletcher. You know, it's not that, but it's still a great role. Saving Private Ryan is, of course, Tom Hanks. He's still perfect. The Prestige, I mean, these two just give a really good performance, but again, it's not Heath Ledger Joker, you know? But like, it really is a good performance there. The Greatest Showman is another Hugh Jackman one. And it's really good. I don't know. Like, if it wasn't for The Greatest Showman too, let's go back to the first discussion. If it wasn't for The Greatest Showman, we would think of Hugh Jackman as a bad actor or a bad singer because all we would have is Les Mis to go off of. Like, what else are we going to go off of? Oklahoma? Nobody freaking cares about Oklahoma. Nobody's seen Oklahoma. So, yeah. But he is a really good singer, and honestly, like, it's really good. But again, it's not Heath Ledger Joker. So I can really, like, it's not that any of these are really bad. These are all really great roles, but I don't know. It's not Heath Ledger Joker. And then 12 Angry Men. Henry Fonda's performance is really good, but I don't know. I'm more of a fan of the guy. I don't remember which juror he is, but like my favorite scene in 12 Angry Men is the how does he know that scene? And he's not given the real performance there. Like, I'm really there for the other juror who does that. But yeah, these are still all phenomenal performances. They make the movie. Okay, these are all phenomenal performances. They would not be in my top 10 if they did not make if it wasn't that good. So yeah. All right, next up, we're gonna rank the scores for each movie. And we're gonna count The Greatest Showman as the musical motifs in the background and not the songs. So, because if it was songs, Greatest Showman has one of the best songs in any movie. It'd be up here. So let's go from best to worst. We have The Dark Knight, The Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump, Whiplash, Saving Private Ryan, The Prestige, Castaway, Greatest Showman, Bruce Almighty, and 12 Angry Men. The Dark Knight is, of course, one of the most iconic film scores. Hans Zimmer really goes off here. It's amazing. I can hear my brother's back. Might have to cut this one a little short, but let's get this done real quick. Shawshank Redemption just really has like a hopeful spirit to it. It really sells, especially in that final act. Forrest Gump is just kind of cute. Like, honestly, it's really whimsical and it's really nice. Whiplash, of course, is about jazz music, and it kind of makes me enjoy the jazz for the first time because it's honestly amazing. I listened to just like the Whiplash song on Spotify today, and I really loved it. And it had no words, so that's awesome. Saving Private Ryan. I mean, and on top of having one of the best story and characters, it is really special. I need to wrap this up quickly. The Prestige is really like mystery-esque. It's really good. Castaway, when it has score, it's really, really good. But I think the best part about it is the way it uses its score. There's no music when he's on the island, which is really cool. The Greatest Showman just has an okay score in the background. Bruce Almighty, it's more about the pop songs they use that are really good. And then 12 Angry Men does not have music. So there's that. I'm going to cut it here. All right, I'm back. Let's do this. All right, next up is going to be main character development. And yeah, so from best to worst, we have Castaway, Forrest Gump, Bruce Almighty, Shawshank Redemption, Whiplash, The Prestige, Saving Private Ryan, The Dark Knight, The Greatest Showman, and 12 Angry Men. I mean, Castaway is kind of perfect in this role because it's just this one guy you're being focused on, and he honestly changed. Like, the way he changes is really good. By the end of the movie, you really feel like he's a changed person, and this really did change him. Forrest Gump, I mean, you go from I'm going to be... This is what they say in the movie, so just go with me here. You go from a complete idiot to someone who I am gushing a river out of my eyeballs at the end. It's amazing. It's amazing. Bruce Almighty, like, the lesson of the movie is that he learns a lesson. You can't get much better than that. Shawshank Redemption, these two main characters, I mean, it's about a prison who worships Jesus. Of course they're going to develop more, you know. Whiplash, I mean, Neiman definitely does learn a lot from J.K. Simmons, even though J.K. Simmons is the worst. And that final scene definitely shows it. The Prestige, I mean, these two characters are just really fun to watch. And I guess they do kind of learn something. Saving Private Ryan, the characters aren't really the main focus of the movie. It's more about their mission. But I mean, it focuses on Tom Hanks definitely, but I don't know. The Dark Knight, I mean, it's Batman. I'm not going to The Dark Knight for Batman. I'm going for Joker. And then The Greatest Showman, it's predictable, his character arc, but it is still really good. Honestly, I'd probably put it up a little bit higher, honestly, but now that I'm thinking about it, but then, yeah. And then 12 Angry Men is in last again because it's less about Henry Fonda's turning point because he has the same thought throughout the whole movie. It's about him changing the other jurors' minds. So that's why. All right, next we're going to do character dynamics. And from best to worst, we have 12 Angry Men, The Dark Knight, The Prestige, Whiplash, Saving Private Ryan, The Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump, Bruce Almighty, The Greatest Showman, and Castaway. Here's what the 12 Angry Men does really well. It really shows the character dynamics. Like I just said, the goal of Henry Fonda's character is to turn everyone else, and he slowly does that, and it's amazing to watch. It's amazing. The Dark Knight has some of the best characters in cinematic history. Of course, it's going to be great. The Prestige is The Prestige. I mean, just look at these two guys, of course. Whiplash, I mean, the whole movie is about this conflict between Neiman and Fletcher. So yeah, it's a really good character. Saving Private Ryan is about rescuing Private Ryan. So of course there's going to be good character moments on the way. The Shawshank Redemption has some really good dynamics between Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. It's really... Oh, look at Devil Wears Prada 2. It's really good. I like the way they interact. Forrest Gump is mainly focused around Forrest, and we, like... Of course, Bubba and Lieutenant Dan are great characters, and he definitely has some great moments with them, but it's mainly about Forrest Gump himself. Bruce Almighty, his interactions with other people slowly get better, but again, it's mainly about Bruce and sometimes his interactions with Morgan Freeman. The Greatest Showman is again mainly just P.T. Barnum. Like his interactions with the other characters he's kind of a douche towards the end, but yeah. And then Castaway, it's not like it's not this movie, like it is the movie's fault, but like it's supposed to be this way. He's alone on the island. Character dynamics between him and Wilson are amazing, but Wilson's not alive, unfortunately. Next up, we're going to do the conflict and overall plot from best to worst. We have The Dark Knight, The Prestige, Saving Private Ryan, 12 Angry Men, The Shawshank Redemption, Whiplash, Castaway, Forrest Gump, Bruce Almighty, and The Greatest Showman. I'm going to say this right now. Bruce Almighty and The Greatest Showman are my favorites for different reasons. All these are like objective. Like, yes, if we're going to go off action, of course, The Dark Knight and Saving Private Ryan are going to have the best action, right? Of course, a higher budget movie is going to have better cinematography. But I like these two more, okay? So let's get that out of the way. So best conflict, of course, The Dark Knight. I mean, the Joker really sells the conflict. It's really good. The Prestige, there was one that was hang on, never mind. The Prestige, of course, it seems pretty simple, right? Two rival magicians are trying to one-up each other. But it gets much deeper than that. If you haven't seen The Prestige, go out and watch it. It's an amazing movie. Saving Private Ryan, the mission is, of course, to save Private Ryan. And the conflicts along the way of doing that. And it's a really good movie in what it does. 12 Angry Men is just really simple. There's 12 men in a room. We're determining what's going to happen to this boy. Yeah. It's pretty simple, but it's really good. Shawshank. I mean, yeah, it is a really good story, honestly. It is nice to see. But I don't know. I feel like when I think of Shawshank Redemption, I think of just like it's really, really great. I think of that final scene. I think of the character dynamics. I don't really think of the conflicts or overall plot in the movie. Like, I think of the plot in Saving Private Ryan first. I think of the plot that's in Forrest Gump. I don't think of the plot in Shawshank when I think about it. Whiplash. Again, I think of more of the character dynamics in the movie than the plot. Because it is kind of a looser plot because like it just kind of feels like things are happening, but it's more about the characters in Whiplash for sure. Where were we? Castaway. I mean, it's pretty simple. Again, like a guy is lost on an island. That is the conflict. How does he get off the island? It's pretty simple. Forrest Gump feels more like an episodic thing, if anything. So the plot is not very connected. But because there's a lot of different conflicts and a lot of different plots going on. But it is put together in a perfect way. So, yeah, of course it's going to be epic. And then Bruce Almighty. The plot is that he has the power of God. Laugh. But it is still a good plot. And The Greatest Showman is pretty predictable, honestly. But it is still a really good plot. So, yeah. And then technically last, we have rewatchability. From best to worst, we have The Prestige, Bruce Almighty, The Dark Knight, Forrest Gump, The Greatest Showman, The Shawshank Redemption, Whiplash, 12 Angry Men, Saving Private Ryan, and Castaway. I mean, rewatchability is literally the prestigious thing. Like, this movie, you watch it once, you think, oh, that was pretty good. I like that movie. And then you rewatch it, and oh my gosh, it's perfect. It's literally perfect. This movie is the rewatch's best friend. I mean, you pretty much have to rewatch it to understand it. Like, honestly. And then Bruce Almighty is just an easy watch. Like, I'm always in the mood to rewatch it. It's funny. It's quotable. I love the performance. It's amazing. The Dark Knight is The Dark Knight. I will watch it anytime to see Heath Ledger's performance. I'm going to rewatch it later. It's just so good. Forrest Gump. It's just, I mean, some parts are really good to rewatch, but like, I feel the need to have to turn it off before the ending because if I'm not in the mood to cry like a little baby, I'm not going to rewatch Forrest Gump. But if I am in the mood, sure, throw on Forrest Gump. It's perfect. The Greatest Showman's pretty easy. If I want to listen to some music, I'll throw on the movie because it's good. I rewatched it the other night in a hotel room or just rewatched parts of it. Shawshank Redemption is a little bit more heavy than the rest of these films, but I mean, honestly, that ending scene alone deserves a rewatch just to get through the whole thing. Whiplash, I rewatched Whiplash the other day. If that tells you anything, it's pretty simple. Some scenes drag a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to rewatch, especially just to get to the next J.K. Simmons performance. 12 Angry Men is a pretty short movie. It's only like 97 minutes long. But it is a little heavy. If you're not like a film guy, you're not going to get it as much as I do. But, I'm sorry. But yeah. Saving Private Ryan is a long movie. And it is gruesome. This is definitely not one on many people's rewatch list. But I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. I probably will give it a rewatch, or at least the opening 20 minutes from time to time. Like, I just don't feel the need to rewatch everything in it, unless I'm watching it with someone or I'm showing it to someone for the first time. I'm probably not going to rewatch the full thing. And then Castaway is very, very just... It's... I love Castaway, okay? It is in my top 4, which I might honestly have to change. I don't think about it, but Castaway is amazing. But some scenes drag. But it's meant to be like that. It's less about rewatching it and more about how good everything else is, because just the lack of music is amazing. And like, the middle is supposed to be long. The movie is supposed to be long because this guy was trapped on here for like 4 or 5 years. It's supposed to be a long time. You're supposed to feel uncomfortable. So, yeah, of course. It's not for rewatching. Even though I am rewatching it right now. But that's a good thing. So the goal of the experiment was for me to admit that Bruce Almighty is not the best movie ever, which it is not. Yes, it is not the best movie of all time. I never said it was. The list says favorites right there. I never said it was the best. I said it was my favorite movie of all time. And like I said earlier, of course it's not going to win best editing or best characters or best plot. Because The Dark Knight and Shawshank and Saving Private Ryan are right there, which does infinitely better because it has a, and let's like, I don't even know where I'm trying to go with this, but like, again, a higher budget means you're going to have better camera shots. You're going to have some better things in it. But that's not what it's about. I enjoy Bruce Almighty and The Greatest Showman more than Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is the best movie I've ever seen, but it's not my favorite movie of all time. Bruce Almighty is. It was never going to win these, like, it's not going to win these awards. Bruce Almighty was never number 1 in these categories for a good reason. Okay? It was ranked in the bottom 3 4 out of 7 times. Because of course it doesn't have, like, what, best cinematography. Because The Dark Knight and Saving Private Ryan is right there. Which has infinitely better cinematography. And I can admit that. And it's also the one that I said I would remove from existence. I love Bruce Almighty. I will always, like, I don't know why I love it so much. I guess that explains why. And a little bonus I decided to do for fun is rank the Letterboxd taglines for these movies, because that's the thing I'm known to do. So, let's go from best to worst. Number 10, Forrest Gump. The world will never be the same once you've seen it through the eyes of Forrest Gump. I just think it's kind of stupid to use the movie name in the title, even though that is the guy's name. But I don't know, that just kind of feels like an ad, and I don't like it. The Greatest Showman, the impossible becomes true. I mean, it does. It's just not as, like, boom as the others, you know? 12 Angry Men, it explodes like 12 sticks of dynamite. Yeah, they do get pretty mad. I don't know. It's just kind of like, it's kind of tacky. I don't know why. It just feels kind of tacky. Bruce Almighty, if you could be God for 1 week, what would you do? I kind of like the questions, honestly. It kind of leaves you thinking, like, even if you've seen it before, or if you read the tagline before or after, you're kind of left that question. And it's like a kind of like a, like, hey, class, if you did Powers of God for 1 week, what would you do? It's kind of neat. Whiplash. The road to greatness can take you to the edge. I mean, yeah, that's pretty beautiful. But there's just better ones. I don't know. I feel like I have some complaints with that. I don't know what they are, though. The Dark Knight, Welcome to a World Without Rules. I mean, yeah, it does kind of sell that this is Joker's world. He does not play by any rules. Like, yeah, if this doesn't signify what I said earlier about Joker being a co-lead, I don't know what is. Castaway, at the edge of the world, his journey begins. Yeah, I kind of like that because, like I said earlier, his character development is the best out of these 10. So his journey to a better character is beginning at the edge of the world. Saving Private Ryan, the mission is a man. That's pretty simple. That's what it is. I started to say it earlier, and then I stopped myself because I knew I was going to be doing that. So yeah, The Shawshank Redemption. Fear can hold you prisoner. Hope can set you free. I love that. The fact that prisoner is in there is perfect. That's perfect. But The Prestige gets it. Are you watching closely? If you haven't seen the movie, you might not get it as much as I do. Go watch the movie. But honestly, if you've seen it, you know. Because you cannot be on your phone watching The Prestige. You cannot play Mario Kart while watching The Prestige. You have to watch The Prestige closely. So that's my defense of Bruce Almighty. I know we kind of took a tangent, but that's just my opinion. Don't put 4 best movies in your top 4 favorites. Put the films you enjoy. Don't let people judge you for the kind of films you like. That's going to be all from me. I'll talk about Bruce Almighty until the end of my life, of how good it is. And of course, I could remake this video in a year because all 10 of these could be replaced. Take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. I said multiple times in this video that I would probably change a couple things around. That's what I'm talking about. These things change in a minute. I hate doing these kinds of like top 10 movies of all time because they're going to change tomorrow. Okay? I'm going to calm down. I'm going to go rewatch Bruce Almighty. Form your own opinions. Please put your favorites in your actual favorites list. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to me. Bye-bye.